Hello, everyone, and welcome to Newscope Daily TV, your daily source for reliable and in-depth geopolitical news. Today, we are analyzing a critical situation in the Middle East, where former President Donald Trump appears to be losing control over the war he helped ignite. While the United States and Israel share common objectives, their strategies are increasingly diverging, creating major political, military, and diplomatic tensions. In this program, we will explain how recent Israeli strikes have surprised Washington, why Trump is publicly attempting to distance himself, and the consequences this war has on the economy, security, and civilian populations across the region. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates, and like and share this video to support our work and help your friends stay informed about the real global stakes. Trump losing grip on Middle East conflict he helped ignite, diverging U.S. and Israeli strategies threaten stability. In the unfolding crisis in the Middle East, former U.S. President Donald Trump appears increasingly unable to control the war he once played a key role in igniting. Although the United States and Israel initially aligned their strategies against Iran, recent developments reveal growing divergences, creating political, military, and diplomatic tensions that threaten to spiral beyond Washington's control. A fractured alliance. The conflict escalated dramatically on February 28, when a joint U.S.-Israeli airstrike targeted Iran, killing key figures including Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. At the outset, Washington and Tel Aviv seemed fully synchronized. However, in recent weeks, several Israeli strikes, particularly on fuel depots and the South Pars gas field, have caught U.S. officials by surprise or embarrassed the administration. Analysts suggest that while Israel's goals remain ambitious, coordination with the U.S. may be increasingly selective, reflecting complex domestic and regional priorities. Trump's public distancing and mixed signals. In a highly publicized effort to manage political fallout, Trump has repeatedly claimed that the United States was unaware of some Israeli operations. Yet, major news outlets, including CNN, Axios, and the Financial Times, report that these strikes were indeed coordinated with Washington. This contradiction exposes a clear tension. Trump seeks to distance himself politically, while U.S. interests remain implicated in the escalating conflict. Experts interpret this as an attempt to balance domestic optics against the strategic realities on the ground, revealing the challenges of managing a war that has grown beyond predictable bounds. Israel's strategic objectives. Israel's actions appear driven by a mix of national security concerns and domestic political calculation. Perceived existential threat. Iran's growing regional influence and missile capabilities are seen as direct threats to Israeli security. Political gains for Netanyahu. A prolonged war allows Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to delay potentially unfavorable elections, preserve his right-wing coalition, and postpone ongoing corruption trials. Regime change aspirations. Some analysts suggest Israel is pursuing long-term objectives to destabilize the Iranian regime, even if that risks escalating regional hostilities. These motivations explain why Israel continues high-stakes strikes even when they may complicate U.S. diplomacy or inflame regional tensions. U.S. interests and constraints. For Trump, the calculus is markedly different. Economic costs. The war has driven global oil prices upward, directly impacting American consumers and fueling inflation. Unpopularity of prolonged conflict. Public opinion in the U.S., including within Trump's own political base, increasingly disfavors extended military engagement. Policy contradictions. The war undermines Trump's America First platform and his promise to avoid Middle Eastern entanglements. Electoral timelines. With midterm elections approaching, Trump cannot appear complicit in a war that risks domestic political support. These factors explain why the administration, or Trump's advisors, might prioritize rapid disengagement even as allies continue aggressive operations. Escalation beyond control. Despite Trump's intent to reduce US involvement, the conflict continues to expand. Regionalization risk. Attacks threaten not only Iran, but also allied nations, raising the likelihood of broader regional warfare. Allied pressure. Washington faces mounting demands to protect partners across the Middle East. Unpredictable dynamics. Israel's ongoing unilateral strikes and Iran's retaliatory measures could spiral beyond US control, increasing the risk of accidental escalation. Even as Trump seeks to curtail US involvement, the conflict's momentum increasingly dictates policy outcomes. Humanitarian consequences. The human cost of the conflict is staggering. 1,500 deaths in Iran, 18 deaths in Israel, 21 deaths in Gulf states, over 1,000 deaths in Lebanon, and more than 1 million displaced persons. These numbers reflect both the direct consequences of military operations and the broader destabilization of infrastructure, essential services, and civilian safety throughout the region. Deeper signals of losing control. 1. Growing strategic divergence. US and Israeli methods diverge, with Israel taking offensive actions that Trump struggles to manage diplomatically. Trump's contradictory messaging. Public denial of coordination with Israel contrasts with reality, signaling a loss of effective control. 1. Israel's political calculus. Netanyahu leverages the conflict to maintain power, delay elections, and strengthen strategic influence. 4. Constraints on US withdrawal. Economic pressures, public opinion, and looming elections make disengagement urgent but difficult. 5. Regionalization risks. Broader involvement of Gulf states and Iran-aligned militias could escalate the conflict further. Humanitarian and geopolitical fallout. Massive displacement and regional instability threaten US credibility and strategic goals. That concludes our analysis of the ongoing Middle East crisis and Donald Trump's fragile position in a war that seems increasingly beyond his control. As we have seen, diverging US and Israeli strategies, political tensions, and humanitarian consequences make this situation extremely complex and concerning. If you want to stay informed about the latest developments, in-depth analysis, and behind-the-scenes insights into global conflicts, subscribe now to Newscope Daily TV, hit the notification bell, and don't forget to like and share this video so more people can understand the real stakes behind the headlines. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for our next detailed analyses of international news. See you soon on Newscope Daily TV.